Hey, it's Brittany, and welcome to the Proverbs study. Today we are studying Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22, 23, and 24. And like I said, I am doing this because I'm being obedient to the Lord. He has given me the urge to share the book of Proverbs, based on what he gives me. And so I'm just going to be sharing it every day. I will take Saturdays as my Sabbath, but I'll be sharing them every day and then just catching up. So let's get into this word. I'm reading from the King James Version and the Passion Translation. So verse 22 says, "How long will ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called, and ye have refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded." The Passion Translation says, Proverbs 1 verse 22 says, "Foolish ones, how much longer will you cling to your deception? How much longer will you mock wisdom, you cynical scorners who fight the facts? Come back to your senses and be restored to reality. Don't even think about refusing my rebuke. Don't you know that I'm ready to pour out my spirit of wisdom upon you and bring to you the revelation of my words, that I will make your heart wise? I've called to you over and over. Still, you refuse to come to me. I've pleaded with you again and again, yet you've turned a deaf ear to my voice." I really love the Passion Translation. I love that this gives us exposure to the heart of God, to understanding how God's mind works, right? And then when you understand his thoughts, then you understand his heart, and then you understand his ways. So this truth that they're speaking of, that it speaks of, is the reality of the world that we live in, the world that exists in and around us. It's difficult to deny the existence and the power and authority of God. So in this study of Proverbs, it's admonishing us to just pay attention, right? Acknowledge that God exists, because that's the beginning of wisdom. And then after we acknowledge that he is who he says he is, then let's be aware of some things. Let's be aware of not following the fool, or not following the person that wants to steal and take things from innocent people, because their ways are actually the way of death. And they're setting up a trap for themselves. They're leading themselves into death. They're leading you into a pit if you follow them. And this is helping us to understand what we need to be aware of. And then we discovered that the enemy is the one that's behind the people that are causing you to go in a certain way, right? It's him enticing you. He's bringing that sin, that invitation to sin, so that he can reap destruction in your heart. He wants nothing good for you. But wisdom the whole time is crying out. In verse 21, it says, "She crieth in the chief place of concourse, or in the gates of the city, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying," and then that's what she says to us today, "Foolish ones, how much longer will you cling to your deception?" So you know that you're being deceived, but you're holding on to it. How long is the question? Are you going to continue to do that? How long are you going to delight in mocking God and in scorning God? And how long are you going to hate knowledge, right? And the Bible calls us a fool when we do these things, because it's foolish to ignore that God is real, that he exists, and that the path of wisdom is the best way of life, right? Because all the mistakes have already been figured out by somebody else. You don't have to figure them out. Solomon wrote this to give us access to the wisdom that we have available to us, right? Through this written word. And this word is God. So we're actually eating God when we study this word or when we read this word. So it is wise to pay attention and to take hold of this and to follow it, right? This is part of the eating, is ingesting it, meaning we're going to not only just read it, take it in, but we're also going to start walking in it. So we're going to turn from our foolish ways. We're going to stop mocking God. We're going to stop clinging to our deception. We're going to stop fighting the facts. We're going to be restored to reality, right? We're not going to refuse the fact that wisdom is crying. This is God's heart crying for us to pay attention to. He wants us to know that wisdom is good, and take a hold of it. Keep it close to your heart, because he's willing to pour it out, right? If you ask for wisdom, oh, you're going to get it. You're going to get it, and you're not going to have to. The thing is, the reason why Solomon was the most wealthy king, in addition to the wisest, is because he asked God for wisdom. And because he asked God for wisdom and not wealth and riches, God gave him wisdom and wealth and riches, right? Because being wise is the best way to live your life. And then when you have wisdom and you utilize it for your life, you understand how to create wealth. So it sounds like I'm trying to make this simple, and it's I'm not going to say that it's not simple. The concept of it is simple, but it does take discipline, and that is hard work, right? So yes, it's simply hard work. Simply hard work. It is difficult to do this, but this is part of the gift that we have in our salvation, is that we can understand these things because it's available to us, and we can ask for it. So we ask for the wisdom, and he gives it to us, and then we know how to do life. We know how to do everything that we need to do in life. So I hope this was helpful. Yeah, I hope that you will reach out and grab a hold to the hand that is stretching to you, right? That wisdom is calling you. I hope you grab a hold of wisdom and you follow it and you follow its ways. That's what I'm striving to do in 2024, and I hope you join me. So hope you have a great night. Thanks for watching.